Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to start off by saying that the devil can cite the scripture for his own use. I'd like to start off by giving some rebuttals to the proposition side about their arguments, and go on by giving specifying our points, which are first of all bad influence to society, no distinction, and it is also a bad influence to children as well. The opposition side has mentioned very vague words in today's debate. They have mentioned adequate, a certain amount, only some, a few, and government regulations. We believe that they have not specified enough for the opposition to know which kind of meaning that these words hold. They have, for example, they have mentioned about making corporal punishment an effective method, that the children should know and be fully aware of his or her actions. But how easy is it, ladies and gentlemen, how easy is it for adults to send a message to the children that they have done something wrong, how immature their behaviors may be? We believe that this is a very hard situation that the parents have to go up with, even in the process when they're hitting or beating the child. I'd like to move on to another argument, which is about the cultural influences that they've had before. The proposition side has mentioned the Bible and stated that corporal punishment has been used in many circumstances in the Bible. However, we would like to state that the Bible has been taking place in the Middle East, in which we know in the status quo is a country in which many human rights are not valid. And in the past in which Jesus exists, in the Middle East, as I mentioned before, no human rights were valued except for Jesus Christ. We believe so. This is a biased piece of information, and we'd like to move on with our speech. They have also mentioned that it is a deterrent for our children to be aware of the situation. However, we'd like to give the burden of proof on the proposition to explain how this would be. Corporal punishment would be the best way to take care of the children, because we believe that the solvency of this problem does not lie in corporal punishment. It can lie in other examples, such as grounding these children and actually not letting them watch TV, etc. Now I'd like to move on to our own points, which are first of all making a bad influence to our society. As our first speaker has given a basic outline, these children can learn violence from the situation. The proposition side has mentioned that this might not happen with the example of Korea. They have mentioned that Koreans have been using discipline for a long time, and this does not affect the violence of these children. However, we like to state that, as our first speaker has mentioned before, that this may lead to higher suicide rates. And South Korea is one of the countries that has the most high suicide rate in the world. And even though you ask, even though it may not work in situations, does that mean we have to do something? And do we have to pursue something that is not wrong? That is wrong. Do we have to pursue something that abuses human rights? We believe even though it might not take any effect at all, we believe that it is something that we have to take in consideration. The children's rights may be abused in this kind of way. We believe that even though there are no effects, does that mean that we have to make these, in such situations, does that mean we have to let anyone who is being abused just stay and left behind because there are no effects being taken place? We believe not, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to move on to the next argument, which is about no distinction. We have, as the first speaker has given again a basic outline of this situation, we believe that there is actually no distinction of what can be made as what is corporal punishment and what is actually abuse. We believe, for example, what is the fine line between being educationally wrong and not? What is the fine line between what kind of corporal punishment that you have to use in such situations? We believe that the government cannot regulate this in every kind of status. We believe that the government is a body which has to take care of millions of people, and many situations will just go on without anyone knowing that this child was abused. I'd like to move on to our last argument, which is about children becoming depressed. I've basically mentioned this in our first argument, which is about children becoming depressed about their society and trying to use violence in their only situation to solve problems. In this way, ladies and gentlemen, we believe that the society will be corrupt in in their pursuit for only using corporal punishment. And this, ladies and gentlemen, we stand today.